Liftoff and the clock has started.
Go!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and back by popular demand. Mind you, we do this every Wednesday, but we are by popular demand. Back here on the 13th of October, my lovers, 2021, with the lovely Julia.
Woo! And the lovely Richard.
Woo! Yes, hello and welcome. Nice to see you on this fine autumnal day. It's been a lovely sunny day down here in jolly old Worthing. I'm hoping that wherever you happen to be, it was equally lovely and gorgeous. Was it gorgeous in Lancing?
It was quite nice, yes.
Yes, it must have been, because it doesn't really... It's 3 miles distance between your house and my mansion. I mean, my puny little 2 up, 2 down mansion. So hopefully it was a lovely day. Wherever you... Already a phone call.
Can I just scroll it up?
Yes, how can that be? A phone call already? Let's see if the phone is actually working technically.
No, is this the Vobes show?
Hello? Hello?
I love your show. I think it's magnificent.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say so. Who we
I
talking?
love your girlfriend on it. She makes me laugh.
Yeah, she makes me laugh, don't you? Do you like me
Old
laugh?
mom next to your girlfriend.
My what, sorry?
I think it's so funny.
What's funny?
It's lovely.
Ah, well, you know...
Hannah, I love your wolf. I love your wolf.
Yeah?
Yeah. Keep up the good work.
I will do my best. Who are we talking to?
See you later.
Peter.
Bye.
Yeah, take care. Bye. There we are. That was Peter.
Short but sweet.
Short and sweet, but nice and neat. That's what we like to see. And of course, you can give us a call on the show. 0793 4746 790 is the telephone number to give us a call on. And thank you very much. If you enjoy the show as much as young Peter there did, then I advise you very carefully about lifting up that receiver and giving us a ring, because we want to hear from you in today's show. Also, I should also point out that we have some videos, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We have a special list here that the lovely Julia, not knowing exactly what my handwriting says, is going to attempt to read out using a Spanish accent. Oh, hang on, we have another phone call.
Holding that thought.
Let's find
Your
out.
YouTube is shit.
My what?
Videos are awful.
My...
Your channel is so bad.
Oh, it's bad.
Just give up. It's awful.
Is it? How awful?
It's horrendous.
On a scale of 1 to 10. Give us a scale of 1 to 10.
Gone.
Oh, gone. Oh, well, there we are. I think that's... Anyway, welcome to the Awful channel tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're going to be really dreadful, awful, and singularly bad. Oh, it's going to be the worst you've ever seen. I'm going to grow lumps out of the top of my head, and I'm going to have curly whirlies for breakfast. But other than that, we'll do our best to keep you entertained. Now, what have we got on the show? You don't have to do it in a Spanish accent.
We have Ray and Jennifer.
Oh,
With Los Barros Fair.
oh yes, the Los Barros Fair, which is all castanets and classical guitar, which is rather jolly, which we're looking forward to. And who else have we got
We
on
have
tonight?
our lovely regular Bernie.
Good old Bernie.
Tillingham final.
Ah yes, he's back in and he's looking at the exciting as it is. So we will look forward to that.
He's looking at the exciting as it is.
Yeah, it is very. I've already seen bits of it.
We have our very wonderful Ray of Hope.
Oh, now Ray of Hope with a classical piece, but when it comes on, you've got to watch the beginning, for there is some movement from the Wooden Tops.
Oh, a new scene from them,
Yes,
I presume?
Yes, but there's movement. You'll
Oh,
see
movement.
It.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes, it's very moving. It's a very moving piece.
Should have said that to begin with.
Yes. Is
that the same number?
I think so.
Need to block that.
Yeah, it's gone.
We also have photographs
Yes.
from Bonnie.
Yes, we have from... Yes, that's true. And we're going to get onto those first. Make sure Bonnie is out there.
Yes,
but we're
she is out there.
Oh, she's out there. Because we are going to look at those pictures. They are, of course,
The Chelsea Flower Show.
Watership Down. Oh, sorry, I thought they were pictures of bunny rabbits. No, the Chelsea Flower Show. But not all of them are of Chelsea supporters. And none of it takes place at Stamford Bridge, apparently. Because that's up in Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah, and we also have photographs from Joanna Jones from the Isle of Wight.
From the Iddle of Whittle.
Iddle of Whittle.
Yes, I've been to the Iddle of Whittle a few times. And it was lucky to get escaped, to be honest with you. Because you have to catch the White Link ferry. And it's a bit like the ferry across the Mersey, only it's across the... What is it? The down there, isn't it? What do they call it? The bit of sea. It's not the English Channel. That bit round Ponty.
Oh, the Solent.
The Solent. There, I couldn't.
round by me.
Ponty Consulting.
By my parents.
Yes, now where your parents are. We've been there before. Anyway, so I will just prime up, and of course we've got the wonderful, the one and only, the exclusive roll call. But Julia's,
I'm working on it.
Yeah, she's working on it. She's doing the roll call.
That's why I'm being rude and not looking at the camera.
Oh, I see. YouTube can use up a lot of time, says Bonnie H. Apropos
can.
of... I don't know what that means, really. But thank you for the comment. It's gratefully received. We have taken note of all the letters and randomly put them into our random letter generator and produced Alison O'Brien, who says, I enjoy watching a lot of the 80s music on YouTube. So, yeah, I suppose it's sort of a bit like a time machine, isn't it? And Elaine Whitelock is out there. She says, hi, everyone. And she's talking to Daniel. But she says, hi, Richard and Julia. Hope you're fully recovered. And I hope the family is... how is the family, Julia? Are they recovered?
They are good. They're well good.
Oh.
Well good. They are well.
And good.
Yes.
They're good and well.
They're
Marvellous.
well good, they are.
They're well
Wishty
good.
geezer.
My family. My boomerang won't come back.
Oh, dear.
It start me off there.
I didn't.
Ian Dance is saying good evening. Lots of people are slowly tuning in, which is marvellous. So, right. Now, Bonnie had sent us a while back, and it did take me a long time to find these because she sent this on the 24th of September 2005. And she's got here X8 photos, not flowers. But actually, I counted them, and they're 10. But I'm not quite sure what the X8 refers to, but we'll let that hang in the air. So this is the Chelsea Flower Show, not from 2008, presumably. And I don't really know much about the Chelsea Flower Show. This can't be the Chelsea Flower Show.
Could you please scroll down the chat for me?
Oh, yes, sorry, hang on a minute. Scrolling down, what, to the very beginning? Yeah, somewhere.
Oh, that'll do. Thank you.
That'll do, okay. Right, Derek Fortune says, I tried to call, but it bleeped and went off. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Derek. Do try again in a few minutes. Let us just get through the Chelsea Flower Show. So I can't believe that this is the Chelsea, but maybe it is. This looks like a burnt out vehicle to me, but maybe Bonnie can tell us a little bit more about that. That does look like an abandoned vehicle with trees on it and a lot of rubble. But, you know, the standards have been lowered at the Chelsea Flower Show this year. Of course, there's been COVID, and of course there was that giant earthquake that came along, and a lot of people fell underneath the giant boulders there, and some of them had traffic cones on their heads. But there's anyway, so that was one of the pictures. You see why I didn't immediately jump to show these, because I couldn't quite understand that. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Here is this is a nice one. This is like the vegetable stand at the Chelsea Flower Show. Can you count as many vegetables? I don't know what those giant pomegranate things are. The coloured, they look like grapes in baubles. What are those, do you suppose? These, hang on, pointing the mouse. Don't know if you can see that on the screen. What are these things?
Apples and oranges and...
I've never seen fruit like that before.
No, but bundled all together in some sort of...
Yeah, bizarre. Let's move this. Now this looks more like the Chelsea.
That is quite some pumpkin, right?
That is a pumpkin. He looks drunk, doesn't he? He looks like he's not going to be getting up for a long time. He's like the Christmas
it's
dinner.
a male pumpkin. How can you tell?
I can tell that because he's got a little thingy-me-jig at the other end, a little green stem.
That's
that you asked. And
I did. That was a stupid question. Why did I ask?
So yeah, there's a Grecian urn. I wonder how much he gets for a living. But lovely. Tish. But yeah, it is pumpkin season. I wonder if people have been out to anywhere where they've been digging up pumpkins. And there's a pumpkin field near us, isn't there?
Yes.
Millions of the pumpkins.
Just near North Lancing, isn't it?
And I thought to myself when I saw that, God, there's going to be a lot of rotting veg if they don't sell them. And here is, here's Cliff Richard. We're all going on a summer holiday. Looks like he's going to Sticklepath, wherever that is, in his London red double-decker bus with the palm trees. Very nice. And here is a horse, I think, a tin horse with a flowery bottom. And what do you call those? That looks like heather in the back.
Oh, yeah.
She's a good girl, and she's riding roughshod in the back there. Let's carry on. Oh, this is for Julia. We have, as you can see, absolutely the tail end of a dragonfly. I mean, there's all those horses and things in the foreground, but there is actually the tail end of a dragonfly.
Oh, yes. You were not lying.
Just there.
For a change.
Oh, that's what I thought the picture was about. Sorry about that. These are the 6 horses of the apocalypse. The horse riders themselves have fallen out and drowned. I think they were waiting so long for the apocalypse, it never actually happened. And here is a rockabilly tune. This is the stone balancing. How they managed to get that very big stone to balance on that little stone, I'm not quite sure, but amazing stuff. I guess the people were asked not to sneeze anywhere near any of that. Could happen. And this person slightly deflated by the flower show with their flower dress, but lovely colour of pink, and their mates have been putting the boot in. Must be a friend of old Putin. And here is a couple of chimneys. Is that where is the Chelsea Flower Show? Is that near Battersea? That's not Battersea Power Station or is it Battersea Dogs Home? Every now and again they chuck a dog through the funnel. They pump a dog into space through those rocket apertures, which is rather nice. It's lovely, and that looks a bit like Greenwich to me. Is that the Chelsea building? It can't be. I don't know where that is. That looks like the Greenwich Admiralty or something.
No idea.
No idea. This is a strange combination of pictures. Anyway, thank you very much. Well, worth the wait, really. To Bonnie for that. She says, you said I couldn't send flowers, so I sent photos with the flowers, with no flowers. Oh, I see. I beg your pardon. You don't want to take me literally, Bonnie. I talk a lot of nonsense, as the observers who rang up this morning at the beginning of the show showed. Anyway, Derek Fortune says, anyway, I just wanted to say I think it's a great show. Oh, well, I'm very pleased. Thank you very much. If you think it's a great show, you're very welcome to ring. If you think it's a rubbish show, you can keep your views to yourself. So, there we go. One has to be true. Derek Fortune, who's got his typewriter stuck into capital, says, stuff the caller who said your show was bad. Absolutely, stuff him. Stuff him in a small polythene bag and chuck him in the Thames.
Is that the phone
Here we go.
again?
We have another phone call. I have no idea who this is. Let's give it a go. I'm always game for a laugh. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Richard.
Hello, Richard. Hello, who's that?
It's Derek.
Oh, hello, Derek. Derek Fortune.
That's the one, yeah. I've left you a few comments on the old show there, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know exactly what you mean because I've been reading them out.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that caller who says you're a load of rubbish, because I'll tell you what, he sounded like he could do with a good education on good manners myself.
Well, I absolutely agree with you there. There's a lot of good manners missing in this world.
Oh, yes. Well, I do gardening, you see, Richard. I'm actually a solo gardener, and I do work on big houses and so on, and I quite enjoy it. But the weather down here today's been appalling. I woke up this morning, it was absolutely tipping down with rain, absolutely rubbish.
Where are you based?
I'm in Birmingham.
Now, I should have guessed from the accent there because I didn't think you were up in the Highlands of Scotland. But so it was raining. Do you know, we have had a pretty blue, cloudless day, most of the day, until about 4-ish down here. So we've had the best of the weather, and it's been atrocious where you are.
Oh, this morning was absolute hell. I mean, the thing is, I'm like on my own. I've got Julie downstairs, my lovely wife.
Ah, bless.
And she packs parcels, so she's all right, because she's indoors, you see.
I hope that's not a euphemism. She packs parcels.
She does. She does indeed. She packs computer components like USBs and monitors and that kind of carry on.
Yeah, that's a carry on.
And I used to play the guitar in my old days.
Oh, did you?
I was a left-handed guitarist there.
Gosh. Can you buy left-handed guitars then? That must be quite a rarity.
Good question. Because every time I tried to get one, I couldn't get one for years, and then I suddenly got one, and then I got another one. So I got acoustic that can play left-handed, and I've got a Fender as well, so...
Oh, do you know, I'd never thought about it, because automatically, if I'm playing an air guitar, which... Yeah. To be fair, I never do. But if I was, I would be using my right hand. I use my right hand for a lot of things.
Well, listen, I'll come with a brilliant thing for you here now. I was thinking that you and Julia, right, you could start up the new sort of share music band, because she's got that kind of sharey look, hasn't he, with the old purple hair and that kind of thing. Well, with videos I've seen of her anyway, so... Yeah,
no, and she's got a brilliant voice as well.
Yeah, I should think. She looks a bit of a musician type, I thought.
Yeah, she is. She's very muso.
Can she play the violin? That's the thing.
Oh, I can't. I can kill the violin.
Cher doesn't play the violin, does she?
Oh, I don't know. I've seen her at the NAC and she was quite... she was like, what would they call it? The oldest swinger in town, but she tried to make herself look about 20, but she's a bit sad, really, I thought.
Yeah.
But she was good. I mean, it's a good show. But, I mean... you know, I just got to the conclusion that, like, you know, because the thing is with music, right, I mean, you're there for then, and if you make it, you make it, and then if you don't, well, I mean, you're back down where you started, you know,
Yes.
so it's one of them. But, I mean, I agree with you about a lot of things, because, I mean, I'm 61 now, and I must admit, I have struggled the last few years. I had a bit of depression last year due to the Rona.
The Rona.
Corona.
The Rona, we call it the Rona down here, you know, the Rona virus, which is, well, if you believe in such things.
But, so that's interesting, because if you're a gardener and that's what you do as a living, you presume. I mean, I spoke to another gardener who watches the show, good old Ian McCagan, and he was able to, of course, work outside whilst everyone was stuck inside, and he didn't have to, you know, he could converse with people through their windows. So were you not able to work throughout the lockdown?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I did. I mean, I used to see a policeman on a bike every morning named Ray, and we used to stand and have a gab with each other. And that. I mean,
a gab?
A good old gab about what a load of crap we were going through and all that kind of thing. But I said, but we, you know, but saying that, the garden I work in, it's a 1.5 acre garden, so I mean, it's a massive garden, and the only things I saw in there was blackbirds and the odd crow and the odd magpies that come flying in. But I mean, I'm on my own. I mean, I've worked there for 3 years. I've got other jobs, you know, around the local area, which I do. Because I mean, I lost my van a few years ago, which was shit. But I mean, saying that, I am trying to save up to get us a nice, decent motorhome.
Sorry,
you know,
just for a split second, I thought you said I'd lost my vanity.
Oh, right.
No,
Insanity, insanity, do you mean?
Yeah, vanity, insanity. You'd lost your van. How do you lose a van? You mean someone nicked it, or you just didn't know where you parked it? Well, hang on a minute, I've lost this. It was in the garden a minute ago.
No, it's all right. I used to be a courier, you see, and we'd done it for 7 years. I won't mention them on here because I don't want to give them publicity because they don't deserve it.
No, quite.
But we did it for 7 years, and then it went rotten, and we had all sorts of problems with it, and it was too dear to get it fixed. So it had to get scrapped. But I've been watching you and your van and that. I think it's great because it's inspirational, you know, what you do.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say so. I hope that, you know, it does inspire people to have a go. I wouldn't want people to spend too much money and then think, oh, this isn't right for me, obviously. But it's nice if it does encourage a few people to give it a whirl. You know.
Actually, Richard, something I wanted to ask you, like, you do go around some brilliant scenic places, but the question I wanted to ask you is, have you ever been to North Wales yet?
Now, I haven't on the videos, which is a big loss, really, but I have been, when I used to do the corporate stuff, I used to go to North Wales. But what I would like to do is to go to Anglesey and all around there to Flintshire and on all of that part of the world. Is Flintshire still a county, or have they got rid of Flintshire? Is that part of, what is it now?
Well, me and Julie and a friend of ours, we went down to have a dovey and camped on the estuary beach a few years ago, which was great fun. We did that. I think Snowdonia is a place that I would like to see. Julie's already been to Wales, which I kind of envy her about. I kind of like Barmouth and around that district, and I'd like to go there one day and chill out, you know, have a look around and that, because I'm into all that kind of thing. And I think what inspires me with your videos is the fact that, like, you go to places that I would long to go to. I think if I got back on the road, I'd be, you know, because Birmingham ain't got much to look at.
It's got lots of trees.
We did have until everybody started cutting them down. I mean, we're having a lot of trouble with that.
That is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, actually, Richard, I've got some trees in my garden I've been doing, and some of them, if you're ever up in Birmingham, you can come and take the logs if you want them. They're there for you if you need them, because I got a lot of tree cuttings and that. I can't burn them here because we're in a smokeless zone.
Oh, well, I'll bring the van up and collect them sometime.
Yeah, you're welcome, Richard, because I've got loads of stuff here that I want to get rid of, and you can burn it at your place. As I say, I can't do that. I mean, if I set fire to anything here, I'm liable to get evicted.
Well, we don't
Don't
want
wanna do that.
We don't want to do that. What you should do is just send me an email to richard@vobes.com. Tell me, remind me that you got the logs, because I may be going up to Shropshire and I'll bypass Birmingham on the way up, but I could call in on the way back and pick up logs, which
It would be handy.
would always be
Well,
handy.
there's a lot of tree cuttings down here, which I mean, what it was a plum tree, but we have to cut that back, and there's quite a bit of it. What we probably would need is a chainsaw to chop them down a little bit, if
Right.
you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
but the logs are there. Like, I mean, anything you can take and burn and do whatever. I'll be great. But I mean, I'll tell you what I'll do. You know this number you're on. Have you got a text on that? Can you text it or whatever?
This is purely this is what people misunderstand, actually, and it's a good point that you raise. This phone is only on when the show is live, and the rest of the time it's in a phone that stays in the studio. So I never get the messages. So I do, when I switch it on, I see people have messaged me and say, "Oh, Richard, I like your show," and you think, "Oh well, I'm really sorry," because the other thing about it is I. Being a skinflint, I only receive calls. I can't make any calls because there's no. It's one of these pay as you go, and I haven't paid, so hence I haven't gone.
Can't go.
Yeah, can't go.
Yeah,
But listen,
well,
Derek,
my-
we're going to have to wind up because we've got some videos to play. But
okay.
if you email me richard@vobes.com, then
Right.
we can chat from there, and I can give you my other number.
Yeah, okay. Because I like I say, I've had this lot, and to be quite honest with you, I mean, it does get on my nerves a bit because I'm trying to tidy this garden up,
Yeah.
and obviously with no transport, so the only transport I've got at the moment is a push bike, and for a 61-year-old geezer like me, getting on a push bike in the freezing cold in the mornings, I suppose it keeps me fit, and I can't complain. Can
Well,
I?
that's it. I'm sure that and the gardening is definitely going to keep you fit and keep you warm as well through the winter. Been lovely to talk to you,
yeah.
Derek.
Thanks for calling
Yeah,
in.
and
You look after
and
yourself.
You, Julia. Look after yourselves.
And
Bye
you.
now.
Bye for
Bye
now.
bye. There we go. Lovely to speak to a new caller who's very enthusiastic about the show. Wasn't that nice?
That was lovely.
Thank you, Derek.
That sounded weird. Lovely. That was
lovely.
lovely.
That was lovely. All the way from Birmingham. You know Birmingham pretty well.
Well, I know it a bit, yes.
Yes, you've got sort of family connections.
That's right. My kids have lineage.
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 Yes, to the King of England. Oh, no, not to the King of England. It would be nice to have family that had to, maybe not this particular royal family, as they're going through a lot of issues at the moment. Probably
them.
tissues, bless them as well. Tissues. Anyway, so lots of interesting comments going on. Anything... Simon said that Flintshire is still here. He's also said that something about Birmingham canals.
Oh, yes. Birmingham has lots of canals and they're quite clear water. So you can see all the trolleys.
Yeah, the trolleys. Yeah, that's nice.
Made me cry. Bonnie H is mentioning the 90-year-old Captain T. Kirk, a.k.a. What was his name again?
Old Captain Kirk.
I know it.
William Shatner.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe my brain. Who
he
went
went
into
into space today,
Yes, went into space for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or something.
And then plummeted back down.
Plummeted back down on a parachute. Is what I heard. It's £15 million for 10 minutes in space.
Well,
A bargain.
Everyone comes back via parachute, ultimately.
Ultimately, they come back. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to come back by parachute. You know, because when you die, obviously you go up to heaven,
I don't
and
need
they say
a parachute.
they don't. You know,
Baby,
the
if
angels
you
look
got-
at me and said, "We're not sprinkling moon dust in your hair. You can go back by parachute." Da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum.
Michael White says Richard's log, star date 14.
Exactly, 14 stars.
Should we do the roll call then?
Yeah, let's do the roll call. So, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. We're still not going on the other side of the studio because obviously we've been so
can't be
poorly
bothered.
and we can't be bothered to set it up. But next week we will, because you won't be here when I cross the road. I mean, on Friday.
No.
No. So there will be no need to do the roll call from over there because we don't. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the roll call.
And in no particular order on this wonderful Wednesday evening on the Vobes show, we have Paul Cockerill, Alison O'Brien, you're putting me off.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Mocky, Anna Jones, Sean O'Brien. Ooh, I just dipped my finger in the bubble.
Nice.
Lickstwid. Guy Fishbourne, Mark Burgess, Bonnie H, Station Master's Choice, Sean James Cameron, Kerry Baldwin, Colonel Craig Ratty, Elaine Whitelock, Simon, Ian Dance, Joanna Jones, Andrew Norris, Andrew Hulson, Shirley Antony, Welshman Jason Patrick, Clive Waterfall, Patrick Brooks, Michael Wight, Derek Fortune, Henry V. Agincourt, Jonathan Fox, Adrian, Jackie Lowe, Flappy Goose, Nigel Sadler, Trevs Travels by Narrowboat, Sean Taylor, Ron Langley, Audrey Forbes, Hamilton Sensible Paul, Dave Ivad, Lord Geoffrey Harrison, Andy the Collector, Anne Wright, Grey Feather, Glyn Horton, Sir Roy and Lady Jennifer, Alan Sandell Starsby and Daly Walker. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Lovely to have you all. Thank you very much. I was trying to sort of think about, I could have done the bubbles as you did the reading, but you're a woman,
Stan.
so you can do... Yeah.
Nobody can multitask. You can only do half a dozen things half-assed.
Yes, you can only do one thing at any one time, then you do something else. And apart from, breathing and letting your heart beat.
Well, yeah.
I do those. I can do those both at the same time. Otherwise, it'd be...
Starsby says it's not technically space where Shatner went.
Oh, wasn't it not?
So did he not actually leave the atmosphere?
Okay, let's get very technical about it. Whereabouts was it? Was it just the 4th floor? Did he take an elevator? That's an Americanism. Did he take the lift up to the 4th floor and go, oh, that was hard work, and then cut back? Because he's quite old, isn't he? How old is he now? 900 and something?
Who, what? You lost me.
Captain Burke from the Starship Enterprise.
90.
With its 5-year mission, which seems to have been somewhat extended, hasn't it? To seek out new life and new civilizations. Yeah, we found them. There's new life, new civilizations. Is it still going? Do they still make them?
No, I don't think so.
Have they
there's they've done a recent one.
The next generation, the generation. Have they done yet? You know how they always do, like, the kids of Star Trek toddlers. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Like 3-year-olds in their Star Trek stuff with their little silly V thing.
What, the same characters, but just in...
Yeah, just like little toddlers going around.
I can't take Kirk. Oh, no. Klingon from the top of that. Oh, I'm a Klingon.
That'd be, that's got to be the next thing. All of, James Bond, toddler. Toddler Bond.
007.
And who are you?
Bond.
Who?
Bond.
Bond?
J Bond.
What? Speak up, boy.
J Bond.
J Bond?
No, they made me cry.
For God's sake, don't make him cry.
yes, that's it. Star Trek Discovery. Really enjoyed
Ron
that.
Langley says Star Wars started in 1968. It's a 5-year mission to seek out new life and new civilization.
Ha! Daily Walker says Kirk never found snug and cosy.
No. That would have been an hilarious...
Cozy. Oh, it's
Mr. Spock, what do you find about it?
Phasers to stun.
It's
No,
illogical.
wait! Phasers to kill!
It's illogical, Captain.
Oh, yeah, somebody illogical. Cozy. Illogical.
Slabbert. That would have been hilarious. Yes, anyway, there we go.
Simping schlebbity schlebbard.
Cling on to the starboard bow, says Mr. I'm clinging on. That would be a Norman Wisdom one, wouldn't it?
Give help! I'm on the starboard bow! Help! No, don't do that! No, don't go into space! No! Stop it!
5 years to flatten the curve, Spock.
Yes,
Mr. Moffy
5
says.
years to flatten the curve. I think we're in that, aren't we? We're in the 5 years to flatten the curve. That's it. Save the NHS. Would send the Klingons in.
Michael White says, I could knock Spocks off, William Shatner.
Yes. Well, is Leonard Nimoy still alive, or has he gone to
I don't think he is, actually. I think he passed on.
He would have loved to have gone into outer space, wouldn't he? Would have curved his ears back. Would have fixed that problem. Anyway, enough of this gay banter. I wanted to talk about Christmas. Christmas come but once a year, unless, of course, you're a hoarder and you want to buy all your stuff. Apparently, this is what's going on now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. People are buying their Christmas presents because they're fearful that all that lovely stuff from China it's going to be stuck in a tanker in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Never mind all the plastic floating about in the ocean. There's great big metal containers with metal containers on them, hundreds of them, floating about with nowhere to dock. And then even if they do find the dock you can't get an appointment with your dock for sort of like 16 weeks anyway. So you can go to Boots and pay 15 quid to see your dock. And no HGV drivers to drive them when they get there. What is going to happen? Are you somebody who's out at the moment buying your Christmas presents?
I mean, I understand some people normally would be buying Christmas presents about now because some people are super organised. Not me.
No.
I'm lastminute.com, unfortunately. But if things go this way, I'll have to buy something at least one thing for the boys each.
I mean, if people did do that, let's say they had 12 relations, they could start in January, couldn't they, and do one a month. The only thing about buying stuff now is that that come November the 16th, shall we say, that there will be a brand new television series with a whole set of stuff that goes associated, which will launch, and every kid will want that. And you've just gone and bought all the stuff for what is the current hot pot topic, and then you'll be out of date, and everyone will be going, oh no, that's also last month. I want this one for my kids because there's a whole new teddy bear. There was that thing with Tracy Island. Everyone was trying to get
my gosh, yes.
Tracy Island.
I ended up saving up all the bits and bobs that Blue Peter had listed that you could make a Tracy Island out of for my little brother.
Kids were absolutely
Never did make it.
Desperate for Tracy Island, so we played a bit of a practical joke on them, because I went outside and I said, look, I've got slightly better than Tracy Island. Everyone's got these toys, they're all made of plastic. I've actually got a sod of earth from Tracy Island. I just dug up a bit of the garden and brought it in and said, there you are, look, that is from the lawn of Tracy Island. And the kids were, oh wow, look at that. Jeff Tracy has walked over that spot. What's the other one? Scott Tracy has, and luckily a bit was just by where we had a bonfire, and I said that's where Thunderbird 1 had taken off from, or Thunderbird 2 actually, where it went and the palm trees and all of that.
Are you telling me you used to have lawn in your garden?
No, I made that all up. That was all just a joke. I didn't do that. I didn't go out. I wish I'd thought of that
It
then.
got that far before I went clink. Wait a minute.
No, I don't have turf in my garden. I had nicked it from somebody else's.
I never thought I was gullible till I met you.
No, suddenly so gullible. But there we are. Apparently, Michael Wight says it's Karen's Island these days because Tracy can't make it. But there we are. Didn't we have? We had ice lollies recently. Were they fabs?
Oh, there is such a thing as a fab lolly.
Is that what we
I
had?
don't like them because of the hundreds and thousands.
Oh, what was the one that we had? You bought.
Oh, Feast.
Oh, Feast. Yes, we had a Feast lolly. I nearly said lorry then the other day.
Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lolly, yellow lolly. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lolly, yellow lolly. You do it.
Red lolly, yellow lolly. Red lolly, yellow lorry, lolly. Bonnie H says that years ago poor people ate oysters. Now they eat rich people. Yes, it's better to eat the rich because they've already salted and very probably got plenty of alcohol in them. So there we are.
I'm just having to fight back an Aerosmith song.
And what missile?
Aerosmith song.
Oh, an Aerosmith song. I don't know. Is that was a
Eat
packet of biscuits?
rich.
Wasn't it?
What?
Aerosmith's, wasn't that a packet of biscuits? Oh no, it's arrowroot. I beg your pardon. Yes, I don't know where we get there. Boris is the biggest Christmas turkey. Are you buying Christmas turkeys? That's the other thing. People are filling up their freezers with all these poor turkeys, which of course, I mean, they should be trying to get out to get these poor pigs that are being slaughtered and then having nowhere to deal with them. Station Master's Choice says, I have models of the Thunderbirds in my collection. Sad man. I don't remember the sad man in the Thunderbirds. Was there a sad man? That was the Hood.
But
that was when kids, everyone, I remember in my, well after Thunderbirds, everyone wanted to be the Hood and they wore hoodies. But I don't remember the Hood ever wearing a hoodie. But, strange things. Don't eat politicians, they repeat on you. Yes, they repeat the same old nonsense that we've had before. Ron Langley doesn't have turkeys. No turkeys for him. Shirley says, I want to miss a thing.
I don't want to miss a thing by Aerosmith. It's the one song that does my head in. It's the only song anyone ever knows of Aerosmith. They've got so many good songs.
I've never
even
heard of
it's
them.
a nice song.
Well, give me a song by...
I don't want to miss a thing.
Don't then.
That's the
Keep watching. Keep watching.
Do you do fireworks tonight, says Bonnie?
To whom? Oh, do I do fireworks? No. My years of being an entertainer, years ago when I used to entertain the masses.
Moons and moons and moons and moons and... Sorry.
Yes, I used to entertain and used to go to firework displays and do my juggling and fire eating and all of that. And then I just got a bit bored of fireworks. I thought it was a load of old rubbish. Let's find out who's on the... Oh. Good evening. Hello. And goodbye. It's going to be one of those nights tonight. But never mind, it always cheers us up. If you want to ring us up and just leave a £1,000 note at the door, that's very welcome.
I'll tell you what, What does Bonfire Night or other Fireworks Night or whatever it is?
5th of November.
Yeah. Does it fall on a Vobes show night?
Well,
So we could do some like mini sparklers in the studio. Turn the lights off and do the mini sparklers.
what date is the?
be
Can
fun.
somebody tell us? Is it a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Question of the evening. Someone let somebody else work it out. I'm not going to work it out. Far too senior for that sort of thing. The old brain, you know. Bonnie says, "I love sparklers." Yes, I don't. We used to take the kids.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. Oh, it's a Friday. We used to take the kids to the organised firework things because here we haven't got a place to do a bonfire thing. When I was at home as a kid, we had a big garden as a kid, and we would make a fire. But sometimes we'd go to firework things. But as an entertainer, I would take my kids often to the places where I used to entertain them. One of the places was the Redoubt Fortress in Eastbourne.
Nice.
They put on a lovely display in the old Redoubt Fortress there on the seafront in Eastbourne. Station Master's Choice. Bernie will know that very well. And I must have done it for about 8 years running. And every time I'd go down there and they would play that song... famous. There was a moment of silence there. Did you notice? I actually stopped.
Yeah. There was airspace.
Something about "Don't burn me, baby, don't burn me," and I'm doing this with the what is it? It's like a boys' own band, and they're singing about fire. Relight my fire, don't burn me, baby. Two of those songs.
Oh right, okay.
There were two songs similar, very similar. I couldn't tell you which one. 1812 Overture. No, I tell you what they used to do. They used to do the Space Odyssey. They always used to do the Space Odyssey. 2001 Space Odyssey from the Blue Danube. And you'd get, and then they would two of them would walk out. Mike Moss was the bloke. I don't know if you remember him. Mike Moss and his sidekick Richard somebody or other, ginger curly hair, nice bloke. Both of them very nice. Always booked me, and I would entertain, walk around on stilts. And tap the kids on the head, blow out their sparklers, that sort of thing, trip them up so they fell into the little red hot chestnut burner, singe their face and all that. It was great fun. And then I would ride around on my
You always have
unicycle.
to just go just that bit too far.
Oh, that's why they booked me though.
Always.
I would ride around on my unicycle, weaving in and out of people going,
No, get out of the way. No, don't do that. Little crap.
They loved that. And I walked around my suitcase. And then the piece de resistance just before the fireworks at about 9 o'clock. Was himself here doing this fire-eating act, and I would come out stripped down to a thong with my bare buttocks rippling for everybody and my nipples going up and down and all of that.
Didn't know this was going to be one of those shows.
And the audience would go, help, get me out of here. But they'd lock the doors so nobody could escape me. Going, oh my God. Spotlights was on me. I'm juggling and stuff with fire. I'm rolling it all over my body. I'm burning all the hairs on my chest and all of this, blowing massive flames. And then the ambulance comes and the fire brigade put me out. And then they did the 2001 Space Odyssey, and they walked round and the fireworks go up, and it was all rather good. And then Mike Moss left, and I think I did one more time after that. Then I gave up. I got bored. The great thing about it was, as soon as the fireworks were on, everybody's standing, a packed area, everyone's standing there going,
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
I've quickly changed. I've grabbed all my kit. I weaved through the crowd. That go,
Ooh, ah,
out the thing. I've got my money. Thanks very much. I got into the car. Boom! Bat out of hell. Couldn't care about the fireworks. Wanted to get home, see the family, see the kids, and all the rest of it. Nicked a few sparklers, and I would get back. The roads were empty because most people are somewhere going,
ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
Or at home watching the London ones.
or watch. The saddest thing is the people watching it on the telly. I mean, it's just, well, I was going to say it was pixels, but back those days, it was just, cathode ray tube and sort of lines on the telly that they're watching. They're not actually seeing real, and they're not getting the smell of the cordite and all of that, and they're not getting hit on the head by a banger, whoa, and ending up in A&E with all the other people who've got their bad necks from going,
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
I've done my neck in. Oh dear, it's all good fun. Anyway,
Michael White says he really, really likes a Catherine.
does he? I'm sure he does. A good old Catherine
I didn't
Wheel.
say it right, did it? Really, really. No, never mind. Do we have some more?
We do.
Have we had a video yet?
Yes. Colonel Cragrati says, most fireworks these days are just small bombs going off instead of decorative ones. Frightens the animals and wildlife.
Yep.
You're not a great fan of that sort of thing, are you?
No, I mean, I used to enjoy fireworks, but no, as has been said, it seems like they're just getting louder and louder with no improvement to what it looks like. So it just seems pointless to me. Joanna Jones says she's always avoided the Lewis... Did you say that one?
No.
The Lewis display due to how busy it gets.
Oh, it gets horrendous. Lewis is, it's very famous for it, and they roll tar down, tarred barrels down the streets aflame, and the people have parked up all on the A20s. I mean, it's absolute bonkers. And we have a viewer, but I don't think he watches this show anymore, but good old Steve Pilfold used to do a radio show about the Lewis fireworks and leading up to it, and in one of these sort of instant, you're only allowed to do it for something like 6 weeks. I can't remember what the rules are, but it would be a broadcast radio show, and they'd play music and then report on the fireworks.
Cool.
Which was always great fun. We're going to go to video in a second. Any more? Val Pragnall is out there. Julia, you could dress Richard as the guy, not looking like the sound of this, and sit outside on the 5th November show, which would be funny. Yeah. Penny for the guy. Penny for the guy. Penny. No, I didn't say spend a penny on the guy. Thanks.
Lord Jeffrey Harrison says, Richard, I picked up a man today. Do you recognise his name? David Ryder from the BBC.
David Ryder? No, I don't. He said I picked up a man. Oh, hello. Come with me. David Ryder from the BBC. Hello, I'm David Ryder from the BBC. Never heard of him. Who is he? Is he famous? Is he? I don't watch the BBC. I don't have a television licence anymore, so I don't know these things.
I know nothing.
I do watch, obviously, YouTube, but I tend not to watch any of the BBC output anymore. I've been scarred. I used to be a devout BBC viewer and listener of BBC Radio 4. I used to love it, but I'm afraid they've gone too far one way, and their opinion is too biased for me now, so I can't. Anyway, let's go into the... And we're going to start with Roy and Jennifer from Española. Hola! Wonderful Spain. I can't do a Spanish accent, you'll be pleased to know. Julia's very pleased. But now, listen, the last one, by the way, Roy and Jennifer, great to have your videos coming in. Please keep sending them in. However, in the last show, after the show finished, I got a copyright strike saying, well, it wasn't a copyright strike, it was just we couldn't monetize this video because of copyright music in it. This is becoming a bit of a problem now. So I'm hoping that the music that you put in the show isn't copyright in your video, because while we can enjoy it now, anybody subsequently watching it, I have to mute it. I'm sorry about that. So I don't know what to say. So if you do send videos, please, whoever you are, if you do send videos, I'd love to show them. And if you do use music, please use copyright-free music. There's some that's completely free, some that you pay a license for. You don't have to do that if you're sending them in to us. And if you want help on finding stuff, let me know, richard@vobes.com, and I will help you. But otherwise, they do either get completely deleted or muted from the show. It's not my decision to do that.
Nope, that's just the way of YouTube.
It's just
Sadly.
the life. However, this is fantastic. It's lovely, and this is Los Barros. I don't know if we pronounce this right. Fair. It's I guess a yearly fair, and it's fantastic, and it's very evocative of Españole. And there's lots of nice castanets.
Castanets.
There's those as well. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. We were just.
I did get up and do a bit of.
She did.
Tried my hand, my feet at
If only I
dancing.
could cut into the videos so that you could have seen or mixed the vision of the two. Yeah, we were just discussing the roll call there because
Deciding whether it's useful or not to do it. I mean, I like having it in a list like that, nice list, and then I could just reel it off, bam, 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 bam. But I think it works better that way than having to scrabble through the chat.
Yeah, because the thing
all
was,
that.
the point Julia was making whilst we were watching and listening to that was that when
It
she's
just
writing the
looks
names,
terrible, me sitting like this.
And
It's
I
not so bad if I
noticed-
get most of them written down before the show starts.
Yes.
Just add one every
and
now
then
and then. But
Bonnie said that you were doing a crossword, and of course, she didn't mean that, but it comes across as a bit it just looks wrong, doesn't it? So what to do? Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, but brilliant
to be decided
stuff.
later.
Yes.
No, loved the video though.
Loved the video. We were watching that. It was just you caught us
the-
right at the end because it was so enjoyable.
It was my fault.
No, don't worry about that. That's going to make my
Isle of
my
Wight
prisoner of war pictures
pics.
look rubbish, says
Isle of Wight
Jonah.
pics.
Oh, Isle of Wight, yes. So I thought it said POW. But it's IOW. Wah-hey! Talking of that, shall we go and have a look at them? Let's have a look at them whilst Joanna's...
satisfying.
This is the Idyll of Whittle pictures.
Idyll of Whittle.
The Idyll of Whittle pictures.
The Isle of Widget.
Yes. So now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. These, thanks to Joanna Joan for these. As you can see, there's not a lot of castanets. What are they called?
Castanet.
Castanets. Cast your nets as to the Idyll of Whittle, where the cows come home on a certain week. So these are beautiful pictures. Here we go. Now, I don't really know what part of the Isle of Wight. I don't know whether you said that in your email. You may well have done, actually. I may not have read it, but that looks very, very lovely. A sort of
Very atmospheric.
atmospheric with some wonderful lighting.
Very moody.
And that looks like some shaggy cows, cattle. But they are the rocks. Where are they? Because that looks like that must be opposite Portsmouth or
Oh, yes,
Southsea.
you can see one of the
You can see the chimneys, and you can
the
also
Fort
see,
Island.
see the little fort there.
What the heck do you call them? Gosh, I can't even remember now.
Look,
How
there's
many
the
years have I
spinnaker. Look, there's the
moved away
spinnaker.
from
There's the
Portsmouth?
spinnaker.
Oh yeah.
So that's bang
I used to
opposite
live just a couple of miles from that in
inland.
Gosport.
So there's only a couple, says, yeah, no, don't worry about that. There we are. Look, it's lovely. Lovely little beach, which if you were Man Friday, and who's the bloke that went with him? Robinson Crusoe. If you were, well, Man Friday would be actually a native of the Isle of Wight. But if you were...
Seagrove Bay.
Seagrove Bay. That's where Robinson Crusoe allegedly, in the original draft story, that what's his name? Who wrote Travelling Around the Country in England? Whose name has escaped me.
Oh.
The author of.
Yeah.
And I know his name, but
Well,
went in the stocks and had stuff thrown at him. Somebody will tell me.
Yep.
What?
It's not me. I
Not
won't
me.
tell you.
No. Brilliant stuff.
'Cause
Thank you
I
very
know
much. There we
nothing.
are. That is the Isle of Wight.
Fabulous.
I do hope to go back to the Isle of Wight at some point in the near future, but probably next year now, with the lovely Liz Housden, who used to live there, and I think she was brought up there, and we made some wonderful videos.
That's not a bad idea, Andrew. He says, TLJ, you could have a whiteboard to your left on the edge of the screen so people could just see what you were doing.
Ah, yes.
What about because then I can wipe it and redo it?
Yeah, we'll have to get you I've got whiteboards, actually.
Yeah, what about this sort of size?
No,
Big-
I've got much bigger ones.
Oh, okay.
I got a bigger one.
But we can...
That's not a whiteboard. This is a whiteboard.
you could have it set on an easel there, so you could be...
But I'd have to do it, that.
Yeah, but we could dress you up in one of those dresses. Cocktail dress, like on the Generation game where you go, all right, Julia, give us a 12, good gay, do she do, which is all very sexist stuff. You couldn't
Yeah,
get
we'll
away
only
with
do
that
it if
these
you're
days.
in a mankini.
Oh, a mankini.
Mankini.
80 quid on the ferry, says Alan Sandell. So, yeah, not cheap then, is
Michael White says Captain Pugwash.
it? Captain Pugwash.
That's not what
No,
you were
I was
thinking.
thinking about... what's his name? Somebody. I'm surprised nobody's told me. Touring. He did the book Touring Around England and Wales in the 1600s. Whatever his name was. Not Colonel Cragratty or something. It doesn't matter anyway. It was allegedly the first proper novel. Also, I understand. What's his name? And it's a very. I did read Robinson Crusoe. It's not actually called Robinson Crusoe. Not Bill Bryson. No, it's silly. And it's not actually called that. It's called something like the Daniel Defoe. Thank you very much, Daniel Defoe. There we go. Yes, Andrew Norris. Well done, Daniel Defoe. Daniel. He was in the stocks and he had stuff thrown at him. He was an interesting bloke. I think it's true to say that Daniel Defoe. You know, we mentioned this the other day when odd facts fall out of my head. And I was talking about somewhere. We were talking about they filmed something down in
Lyme Regis.
Lyme Regis, and on the Cobb in Lyme Regis, and that led me to the Duke of Monmouthshire and the rebels. And I understand that I think Daniel Defoe, when he was in his youth, was one of the soldiers in, I forget now which army, but he was in one of the armies. I think it could have been one of the leggies, but he was in. He was in.
I'm not laughing.
And he was also in that as a young man and fighting either for or against the king. Gulliver's Travels. Was it Gulliver's Travels? No, Gulliver's Travels was written by somebody else. Gulliver's Travels was written by. I've got Gulliver's Travels on my bookshelf. I've got them both on my bookshelf somewhere. Rose's Lime Cordial Regis. Yes, there we are. Thanks, David. You've given it. Such a good idea. Anyway, that's all good fun. Where are we in the time? 5 to 9.
5 to the hour.
5 to the hour.
5 to the hour.
So that we've done the Christmas thing. Would you like to see a little bit of wooden top acting?
Yes.
And a lovely magical number from the past.
Fantastic.
Yes. Well, Ray of Hope, of course, has come to our rescue with another of his fantastic tunes. And you have to watch the opening of this very carefully, for it is a piece of absolute cinema. And I cocked that up again, didn't I?
Now keep still.
How about that?
That was lovely.
So there we go.
Loved the moving.
Jesters in black silk. Was that one? Jesters in black
I see.
silk.
Knights in white satin.
Oh, knights in white satin.
Badum-tish.
Yes, those. I never understood when I first heard that song come out, and they kept saying it was called Knights in White Satin. I wondered why the knights would go charging off in white satin. But it's not knights, is it? It's actually knights in white satin.
Yes.
And it's only fairly recently that I thought it was about, heroes, knights on their chargers in white satin going off to war. That's
Funny. That's funny.
It is funny.
It's funny right
Mind
there.
you, I am funny. But then I never
Funny
really,
in the head.
Yeah, very funny in the head. I never listened to much of the lyrics. I'm not really into the lyrics.
I'm a lyric person.
Yes,
I like
you're a
lyrics.
Because it's like poetry. Poetry is something that is a bit beyond me, because I want them to say what... I mean, Pam Ayres is more my style, I suppose, although she grates on me now, because I don't want to have to sort of read between the lines and go, well, what the hell are you trying to say? What are you conveying here? Why have you wrapped it up in all this sort of... And I find lyrics do that. They sort of disguise the meaning by using alternative words. And you go, I don't know what you're talking about. Just so that they can get them to scan. Explain it to me, lovely Julia.
Really?
Yeah, why do they...
explain
explain why they... explain why...
It's called artistry. It's called emoting.
Comedy songs you can follow, like Right Said Fred, Here Comes Charlie, Up Comes Charlie with a wheelbarrow. You know what's going on. There's a hole in the ground, there's a hole in my bucket. Whatever, you can follow it, but some songs are so...
It's about capturing just a feeling, a sense of something. It's not necessarily, don't take it literally.
No, well, that's the trouble with me. I do take...
You are very literal.
I am a very literal man. Anyway, brilliant. And we love the animation at the beginning of that. Or maybe it wasn't animation. Maybe they really do move. They are very moved by Ray of Hope's magic fingers on his... I was going to say ivories, but they're not really
They're
ivories.
plastics.
On his plastics. Yes. Lee Wigginton, beg your pardon, Lee.
Who we've met.
Who we have met. Yes, nice to see you. Thank you, Lee, in Pulborough.
Yes.
On our
Yes.
walking trip. Yeah,
right.
we haven't had another walking trip for a long time. He says, at first, I thought it was...
I who have nothing. I don't know that song. I thought you'd have got
Well, instead of Knights in White Satin, I who have nothing, give it to me. What's the next line? Knights in White Satin.
I don't actually know.
Don't know the lyrics. No, I don't know the lyrics.
That's the only bit I know is Knights in White Satin.
I like Moonlight.
And I love you.
I
love you.
You see, I thought that was the like the Lady Godiva character, not the Lady Godiva. Who's the Guinevere character? With the long, crinkly hair.
Guinevere.
Was
No.
it
Guinevere.
Guinevere, give us a beer. Imagine her being a barmaid. That would be hilarious. Here, Guinevere, where's my beer? Yeah, I thought that was her going, I love it, to the knight in his white satin on the Crusades.
Never reaching the end, of course. That
Yes.
was the next line.
Never reaching the end. And there they go with their big lance going,
Everyone's given us the lyrics now from it.
All right, Lav. I'm going off on a crusade. It won't be too long. We're just going there to get rid of those horrible people on the other end of it, and we'll sort them out. Then I'm coming back, love. All right?
Hey, I love you. Oh, I love you. I love you. By the way, before you go, darling.
Yes, love. Guinevere. What's her name? Genevieve.
You keep picturing it.
Guinevere.
Guinevere.
Guinevere. Yeah. What do you want, love?
You got any housekeeping before I go? 'Cause the rent's up and you'll be away and I've got 16 kids to bring up and you're going to be out there having fun.
we watch Life of Brian. I think that's just crept into me a bit.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Yeah.
It's one of the
Yeah.
most quoted films.
Yeah,
I
probably.
reckon.
I bet it is.
I reckon.
Yeah. What did the Romans ever do for us? Never meaning to send, says Audrey.
No. Letters I've written, never meaning to send.
What would be the point of writing a letter if you didn't mean to send it? What, suddenly
To burn it and just exercise the need to.
You see, there we are. You see, there was an inner meaning there to the lyric, and I just thought, what is the, writing letters never mean to send.
Well, no, have you never used that as a therapy for yourself when you've got something on your mind and you just write it down to exercise it? No, you do the podcast. Actually, that's what you do. You exercise everything you need to in the podcast
and
every
everybody
morning.
hears it and they go, "Oh my god!"
And then you set everyone else off on having a bad day.
Yes, that's it.
And you go off, la 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 la. I'm free of my demons.
If you want to hear a man ranting about his life and times, then all you need to do is listen to the nakedenglishman.co.uk podcast, which I do most mornings. Around about 8 o'clock, where I'm half asleep and I'm trying to coherently think of something to say and have a moan about something in my life. But there we go.
Yes, Bonnie, you're all individuals. I'm not. Love it.
Egyptian cotton is a total scam also, says Sean Buttermer, apropos of something.
I woke up the next morning with sand in every orifice and not a camel in sight. He was responding to somebody who said something about Saturn. Saturn's not all that anyway. All that it's cracked up to be. Something about that.
Sean James Cameron says, Battle of Britain, 81 years since the end on October the 31st. Yes, last year was the 80th anniversary, and I had every intention of doing a whole series about the Battle of Britain, travelling around, looking at the aerodromes, looking at life in the 40s and all of that kind of stuff. Now it's 81, but COVID came and destroyed all of that. I also wrote a children's book, and I've got the first draft of it done, called Blue Skies and Vapour Trails. Beautiful name, by Richard Vobes. Don't nick that. And I've written the first draft of it, and it was a kid's story, but it was set in Sussex on the front line, because I felt quite passionate, actually, about the fact that was the first time in pitched battles. Well, not that it was a pitched battle, of course, but the first time that we, in a world war, we, the layperson, the domestic people, were part of the force. Was normally battles like the First World War, you say goodbye to the troops, and they go off and they sit in their trenches. They get trench foot, they get cold, they get shot up and blown up, and then everybody's at home being armchair warmongers, which was all good fun. But this time, we were actually in the front line. You may have been sitting there as an armchair warmonger, but there's just a good chance that you could have been bombed just as much as the next man. That's never been done before. No.
What? Never been done before.
Never done that, is it? They've never done that, see? We just read in the news, this is quite a shocking thing, and I've lost it now, that there's some bow and arrow shooting.
There's been some deaths in Norway.
From
a mad person with bow and arrow.
Yes, we were talking about knights in their white shatting. Knights. Well, there you are. That's just lower the tone, ladies and gentlemen. Knights who've just in their white satin, going off to war with lances and things, and then we're still having these maddos shooting people with bows and arrows. Several people.
Bow and arrow, that's great, but at people?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Member?
Yeah, so the news headline here is several people have been killed and others have been injured in bow and arrow attacks in Norway. I mean, they're not back in the Dark Ages, are they? The incidents took place in the town of Kongsberg, which don't tell me is not a comedy name, southwest of the capital, Oslo. A suspect has been apprehended by the police, who believe he acted alone. Yes. As you know, talking of bows and arrows, tomorrow, 14th of October. Yes, 955 years ago, the Battle of Hastings! The Battle of Hastings took place, 1066 and all that.
He said it like it was some sort of, award ceremony or something.
The Battle of Hastings! Ladies and gentlemen, gather round now, please. Take your seats, please. Here we are. Normans over there. Anglo-Saxons over here. That's lovely. Now, we want a fair fight. Have you got your arrows? Marvellous. This is how I should have done my history thing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's video of me trying to tell you the story of the Battle of Hastings. I can tell it's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. It's just rubbish. However, I'm marking the occasion. It doesn't matter that I get all the facts wrong. William had his leg chopped off and Harold had his nose eaten by a tarantula. I may have got some of the facts slightly wrong, but at least I remembered Edwin and Morcar in their DB5s heading down. Come on, Edwin. Do-do-do. And yeah, so I mentioned that. And I got that off my chest. Yeah, so Harold, of course, allegedly, like me, that's how I lost my eye. I had a... Do you know, I did actually tell somebody once. They said, how did you got this eye missing? How did you do it? And I said, I was just like Harold. I said, I had an arrow in my eye. They said, oh, no, don't be silly. I said, no, I was one of these archery things, doing my juggling. And there's these people firing arrows. And, of course, I was on a unicycle juggling. And I went past the target. Oh! And they believed me.
Yeah.
For 2 seconds.
Which silly fool would believe you?
Yes, who would believe me? Colonel Craggrassy says, watch out for the archers. They can have... Yes, exactly. And I
can have your eye out.
Stop listening to them. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Oh! Poor old... that's when the archers began, actually. The everyday story of Anglo-Saxon folk it was originally about. The everyday...
Come on then, Clary. We gotta do something round here. Them Normans are coming. Oh, them Normans, are they coming again? Oh, I've had a word with them last week. They're gonna be after our apples, aren't they? No, they won't be after our apples, will they? We're been scrumping them again, We're trying to get rid of them. Yeah, of course we'll get the old sheep out.
How did you did you sense it?
I sensed it. I saw this flick of your wrist, or I sensed the flick of the wrist, and I went, uh-oh.
This is your blind shot. You're not supposed to see me this
No,
side.
I'm not supposed to see you, and I know what's going to happen. You're going to insert it on my head. Hergé's Adventures of Headcase. Yes, sorry. We're a bit mad this evening. We've been ill.
Sean James Cameron.
Yes.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up.
Breaking
shut up,
news
shut up.
of sorts.
Yes.
A celebrity has quit Strictly Come Dancing.
Oh, I'll tell you where it is.
A slot for you, Richard.
I'll tell you where it is. I know exactly who it is. And I don't watch this. I don't know. I know exactly who it is. I can tell you because I just saw it in the sodding news. He's the guy in Robert Webb. Robert Webb, that's who it is. I just saw that. Strictly, I just saw that in the arts. He's had a heart problem.
Oh dear.
Yes, I'll tell you the news. Here we are. Robert Webb, extremely sorry to quit Strictly, following urgent consultation with heart doctor. It's not that he fell in love with the doctor. Webb
Did you say consultation?
Yes. Webb underwent emergency heart surgery 2 years ago after doctors told him he was suffering from a heart murmur. Hello. Caused by a mitral valve prolapse. We've all had a mitral valve prolapse, have we not? Would you like to see a picture of him? Here's a picture of him. There he is. He's the one in the bald one. I didn't realise he was bald.
I don't think he is fully bald.
No, he's not fully bald. Just
Anyways.
Anyway, that was a picture of him. It goes on to say, comedian and actor Robert Webb has quit. I nearly said squit then. We've done a lot of that ourselves. Has quit Strictly Come Dancing due to concerns over his health following urgent consultation with his heart doctor. Isn't it true that some of them haven't had the vaccination, the doctors? Not the doctors. What am I talking about? David Mitchell.
Yep. Bonnie says, I don't get Strictly at all. All my friends do it. I like it, but I'm not attached to it.
Dancing, it just leaves me cold.
To be honest with you, I hate to say it, and I'm probably being really unpopular for saying it, but I get so sick of hearing the same singing voices on that programme all the time. It's like, they're very skilled and everything, but I don't know. The voice is great on me now. It's like,
why these it's been going for donkey's years. Why can't they think of a different programme? Wasn't there... Now, I haven't seen this because I don't have a television, but there was a series about some people in masks. Here we have the pandemic.
Yes.
And then you have the masked dancer, is it? And the masked doctor, the masked brain surgeon. There was also the masked policeman. There was the masked bus driver.
No,
it became a thing. People were dying left, right, and centre.
I quite liked the masked singer series.
I've
That's
never,
what you're
I've never seen
referring
any of it. I can't even imagine what it is. But I'm assuming that they've got a mask on. They can't see.
Well, I can explain it to you if you like.
Shall I shut up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they'd have, I don't know how many, but several contestants. There'd be, celebrities of varying degree. And
You mean Led Zeppelin. List.
and they'd be given an option of which character they could be,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't just be a mask, and the mask is the main thing to because it's supposed to hide their identity, but they'd be fully encapsulated in this costume, and then their voice would be manipulated slightly, and then they'd perform a song each time, and they'd give clues, and the judges have to guess
Who it is.
who they are. Yeah.
So they could go, is it Kirk Douglas? No. Is it Roger Moore? No. Is it David Bellamy?
Having said
No,
that,
they're
I've not
all
actually
dead.
seen any of the episodes.
I haven't seen it. I mean, I can't even imagine it. I mean, a pointless sort of thing. And are they able to sing? Does it matter if they can't sing?
Yeah, almost. Well, as far as
I
I,
mean,
can
if they
tell,
can't
all of them
sing,
are
that would
singers.
be
in
much
some way.
funnier, wouldn't it be?
It would be funnier.
Mr. Grimsdale, don't laugh at me, 'cause I'm Norman Wisdom. Oh, what a giveaway.
The reason I looked into it was because
You
Weird-
wanted to be on it?
no, weirdly, I'm a bit of a fan of Donny Osmond.
Oh, that is weird. That is
It's
quite
because
frightening.
it's because I really I like Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I saw Jason Donovan perform in it in '93.
Did you say
1993.
Jason Donovan?
Jason Donovan, but
I thought you said Donny Osmond.
yes, I'm getting there. You shut up and listen.
Donny Osmond? I mean, excuse me if I'm a bit freaky here, but I grew up when Donny Osmond and his sister, what's his sister called?
I can't remember.
Silly Osmond.
I'm only interested in Donny.
And they were like these plastic, doll-like American figures in 1970s glitzy things that everyone was going, over
Marie
here.
Osmond.
Marie,
Suddenly I've met a girl
Over
called Marie Osmond.
Yes.
Go on. Tell me about your fetish with Donny Osmond.
Fetish.
I mean, he's going to be older than me,
Yes, he's an old fellow.
and I'm ancient.
I'm a little age.
Yes, you're 18 years older than me.
Shush.
There.
Yes, and I'm old, and he must be older.
But he also played.
And he played what part did he
He played Joseph.
Joseph?
Also. Yes.
How old is Joseph supposed to
Yeah,
be?
but this
in
was
the
this was
musical?
a couple of decades ago, at the very least.
Oh, wait a minute. A couple of decades ago, Jason Donovan's only been playing it for...
No, he hasn't been playing it. He played it in 1993, which was quite some time ago now.
Well,
hate
that is
to
a
admit.
couple of decades ago.
Yes, I mean it was probably around about the same sort of time when
Right.
Donny was playing it in America. Jason Donovan in England, in the UK.
Sean Buttermer, we have already looked at Bonnie's pictures.
Sorry, I'm bloody mentioning it now.
No, I'm fascinated. Surely that makes Richard only 40. Yes, exactly. I am only 40. Thank you, Mr. Mocky.
Best programme I've seen lately was Earthshot with Attenborough and Prince William. Ooh, that sounds like it'd be
Oh,
good.
that does sound like it's going to be
Hashtag face
terribly
fatty.
politically correct. Because Charles is a bit of a fruitcake, and
Prince William, not Charles.
and Attenborough is a bit of a fruitcake these days, isn't he? I mean, he believes in climate change and all of that, and plastics and stuff.
Yeah, I think he has a right to, because he's been
Puppy
around the world and he's
love,
seen lots of
puppy
decimated
love.
species.
Yes, he's decimated so many species. I mean, we've all seen
I'm going
him.
to decimate your species in a minute.
David Attenborough, every time, hey, we've seen him going, I'm crawling through the undergrowth. And of course, underneath his feet, in that complete piece of, he's trodden on some rare crabs, some rare ants, some rare termites, and those things with centipede-like legs. Yeah, millipedes. And he's gone through there and he's disturbed as he's been watching through his goggles like that, filming.
Ooh, Earthshot features Nep, says Lee Wigginton.
What is Nep?
Nep Castle?
Oh, Nep, as in the Nep estate.
Yes. Did Schofield take on Dreamcoat before Donovan? No, I think he was after. I believe he was after, says Mark Burgess.
Michael White says David Attenborough was caught lying.
Really? Caught lying?
Yeah, and then he was caught
Oh,
standing.
lying. Yes. Gosh.
David Attenborough has an exclusion zone around him. He can't be criticised, this body. Of course he can be criticised. Everybody's capable of being criticised. This was a ridiculous thing to say. Of course he can be criticised. He was a controller of BBC Two for a long time. Of course he can be criticised. For goodness sake, you can't put people in globes and things. I mean, he's an old man, I get that, and he's done a lot of good for the world. But at the same time, you know, when you get to a certain age, and I'm getting there myself, you become so self-assured and everything you've said is correct, you're not necessarily open to other people's opinions. Look at me. I'm exactly in that same boat. So you can criticise me, we can criticise him.
You can.
Bonnie H says, we love Dave Redwood. What you do in your spare time is entirely up to you. Thank you very much. And that's that. Anyway, it's time for somebody else that we love, far better than David Attenborough. We've got Bernie, ladies and gentlemen. And Bernie is going to take us to Tillingham, finally.
Well, welcome to the ferry bridge in Rye. And this is the next bridge down from the 100 House Bridge. Only it's probably a good 2 miles away from it. But you can see here it's flowing, although the light is not particularly good yet, round the back of the Tillingham estate. Some nice weeping willows up there. So there we are. There's a plaque here. Ferry Road Bridge, reconstructed in 1954 over the River Tillingham. And if there was a bit more light, we'd be able to see those ducks. They've obviously just woken up. Heading off down the river. No longer navigable since they built the sluice gates in 1928. Don't know if you can hear that, they're having a good old natter. But I'm still wearing my shorts, so it's a bit cold round the knees at the moment. Anyway, onwards and upwards. There is more filming to do here, because we're now in the segments where I bring the 3 rivers together, finally, at the end of my pilgrimage, as it were. That is the old Paygate Cottage. This used to be a toll road out of here on the way up to Udimore, and that is where you would have had to stop and pay your tolls to travel along the road. Amazing what you find, isn't it? I didn't really do the Tillingham justice earlier in the very low light, so I'll come back again when it's a bit lighter. There is the sluice gate, you can see quite clearly there. Hard to believe that this was once the main centre of the fishing industry here, on this side rather than the other side. But there is now the Tillingham, flowing round the corner where it'll meet the Breed, and the 2 combined rivers flow into the Rother. Is that a swan down there? Oh yeah, look at that. Giving himself a good preen. Ah, there you go. See? You're glad I came back, aren't you? And that's your final look at the Tillingham. Just imagine at one time all this filled with fishing vessels and boat building, ship building, and now leisure. There we go.
And Bernie once again proving the power of the Zoom. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Zoom.
But I do think you're getting up too early these days, Bernie, because we were desperately trying to... What's the matter with your hand? Gone purple?
Well, they look more purple on the screen than
Yes.
they do in real life.
That's true. It's
I
probably
did
the light bouncing off
I did
the...
repurple my hair, so I'm not
your hair-
surprised,
No,
but
it
still.
looks lovely purple hair and hands.
I thought I washed them more thoroughly.
Yeah. Superb. Thank you very much, Bernie. We very much enjoy. Looking forward to rye, because I know they do great bread, don't they? Rye, that rye bread. Jackie Lowe says every wildlife program is edited to tell a story, or they would take too long and too much money to make. They tell a story to keep your interest. Yes. If only I learnt something from that. If only
That's in response to something Michael Wight said up there, I think.
Oh right. Oh okay. Keep going.
Had to leave home at 4:15 a.m. to shoot there.
Blimey.
Goodness
yeah.
me.
It's a shame we have these dark mornings. I know what it's like. Now, we've talked about wildlife and people like David Attenborough. Well, somebody who's done a lot for farming, of course, is Jeremy Clarkson. Now, I never really sort of got on with Jeremy Clarkson. He never came to my parties. Every time I rang him, he never answered the phone. To be honest with you, I never really watched much of the Top Gear programmes. Didn't think much of them. They were terribly scripted, very brilliantly made. When I say terribly scripted, what I mean is they were staged. Yeah, exactly.
And too much wanton destruction for my liking.
But it wasn't my cup of tea. But the farming programme, Clarkson's Farm,
that was top notch.
that was very good.
Even that had a bit too much wanton destruction, but you have to accept that with Clarkson. He was trying to make a point, and I will take that.
Well, he has won an award. He has won an award for his program. Clarkson was crowned Farming Champion of the Year 2021 by the National Farmers Union, and has now accepted the award. I mean, you know, who would see that coming from his television?
It's a little bit unfair on all the other farmers that have been working really hard for
That's true,
decades.
but then it's like the same as, you know, when they have these sports personality of the year and people win it. Did that Scottish bloke who plays tennis, Murray Mint, what's his name?
Andrew Murray.
Did he ever win that? Because whenever they have sports personality things, and I used to listen to Radio 4, as I mentioned before, and you'd get the most unpersonable people who would win these awards. I mean, yeah, they may have done great things, but I wouldn't say they were that personality. They had no personality. Yeah, great, thanks very much for that. I really enjoyed winning that award. It's really nice. Okay, the new, I've just played tennis, don't I? And you just go, you're boring. You are so dull and bored. Yeah, good at your sport. That's great. You, Mr. Button, you can drive a car. Well done. But you're not actually the scintillating personality person that in a room that I would suddenly go, wow, look at that bloke. He's got my attention, whatever. Whereas Jeremy Clarkson at least can entertain and he can plough up a field and make a complete right mess of it.
Sean James Cameron says Jeremy Clarkson has done more for farmers in one series of Clarkson's Farm than Countryfile achieved in 30 years.
And yeah, I mean, it might be hard to argue, 30 years is a long time, but I agree that he's got the nation, while it was on,
He's got
talking about it.
Yeah.
And so very much looking forward to seeing what comes out of the second series of that. And he said he feels really weird. He'd never been nominated for a BAFTA in 30 years of being on television. And now, having won this award, he says, I don't want a BAFTA anymore. I've achieved everything. This is great. Honestly, I am so glad that so many people enjoyed the show. And yeah, it must have been a bit of a punt to do that show. It's quite remarkable. And just so that you can see we're not making that up, here's a picture from the Yorkshire Live, I think this is, website that has given that article. whatever that means. Has Clarkson taken the needlecraft? No, I don't think he's taken to needlecraft quite yet. Andrew Murray won in 2016, says, yes, you can imagine, sports personality. God, I mean, what does it say about sportsmen if people like Andrew Murray... I mean, yes, he's good at that, but it's not... They should just call it sportsman or sportsperson. Sportsperson of the year. That would be fine. But when you use the word personality, you'd think that someone would have...
Some personality.
Yeah, wouldn't you? Otherwise, if that's personality, then, you know, even Eric has a chance to win.
How is Eric?
Eric, how are you, Eric?
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
He seems to be all right.
Good to hear from you, Eric. You doing all right?
Yes, I'm all right, sir. Oh, miss. Can I come down and have some food later, miss?
Yes, of course you can, Eric.
Don't say that. I mean, you can't come down. We've still got the Nova virus.
Oh, no, sir. I've had some of that, sir.
Sneak down when he's not looking. I'll give you some food.
Yes, sir. All right, ma'am, miss.
He is a confused rascal. Listen, it's 9:30. We come to the end of the show. It's been wonderful to be here on the midweek show. Lots of fun and games. Thanks to Derek Fortune for calling in and telling us how fab we are. We always like that. And it's been brilliant. Thank you also to Ray and Jennifer for the fair in Spain, to Bernie for the Tillingham final, to Ray of Hope for the wonderful animation, and of course those wonderful nights in what they shat in, and the pictures of Bonnie at the Chelsea Flower Show, though we didn't actually see Bonnie in the Chelsea Flower Show, and Joanna Jones on the Idyll of Whittle. All good fun.
And the Flelsey Chower Show.
And the Flelsey Chower Show.
Sorry.
I'm not sure if Judith is out there at the moment, because I know she said
I didn't
this
see
week...
her pop in.
Did
No,
you-
she's
busy up in Yorkshire at the moment, but if she was helping out, but thank you very much for that. It's very kind. And of course to the lovely Julia for being in, and to all of you guys for doing all that heavy typing work.
And thank you, Richard, for putting it all together.
Oh, I didn't do very much. I just opened my gob. That's about it.
Many times.
Many times.
Many
Back
times.
hopefully- Yes, all right. Don't need to labour.
Many.
Yeah.
Many.
Back again on Friday. Solo show probably. I'll have a wash later. I won't need any soap. Because the bubbles are all around. I'm going to bed tonight thinking of Donny Osmond. Oh my God. Anyway, that's it for us. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Richard.
Look after yourselves and goodbye.